started.
Lion, tiger, bear. He's been a tough opponent for me over the years. D4. Well, let's try for a Grunfeld. Haven't. Let's see. What is that? I can still play a Grunfeld-like setup, but it's no longer a true Grunfeld, huh? This D4 move stops his D5 move stops his pawn on D4. So when he puts his bishop out, it won't have much to do on that diagonal. I'll just castle here. And then think about how I want to undermine the center. I think I still want to play C5. It's a funny thing, but I think I need to undermine the center to get something going. And C5, the reason it's a funny thing is it also liberates his bishop here, so it's definitely helps him as much as it helps me. So it's kind of funny that I would play that move. And he goes C4 himself. Okay, I'll take the d-pawn first. If he takes my d-pawn, I can take back with the knight. Let's see, he took there with the bishop, so the bishop is defended. That's probably a good thing for him. Let's see, I can't play e4. I'm sorry, I attempted to play that. e5, hitting the bishop, but his knight and his bishop are on it, so I can't play that right away unless there's some weird discovery with my knight, but I'm not seeing it. Knight here. Let's see. If I play queen to c7 here, then I'm threatening to play e5. And if he takes, I'll still just take with the knight. Should I play e5 first and then take with the knight? Pawn to e5. Where is his bishop going? Here, here, here. Probably back. And knight takes. No, then it's defended. Yeah, so that's a problem. If I take the pawn, yes, I'm going to have trouble winning this pawn back on. If I take the pawn now, he can trade bishops and then win the knight. Because his queen is on it. Okay, so I can't take the pawn. So I might as well play e5. He can also take en passant. Huh? Wow, that's unfortunate. Okay, knight here maybe. And if he plays e4 to defend the d-pawn, then I can take it. I got in a little bit of unintentional trouble there. Okay, well, at least I got my pawn back. You can play rook to c1 to harass my queen. That might be a good move. Yeah. And where do I want my queen to go? Just back to d8 probably. I could go to d6, I guess. He's got bishop c5. Well, let's go to the light square. I'm defended by the knight here, and I can play b6 and bishop b7 to get my bishop out. And I lend a little more support to this knight here. So maybe this isn't too bad. He's got knight to... yes, he's got knight. He didn't play it, but he has knight to e5 here, hitting my queen. But I have queen e6, I guess. Okay, so b6, bishop b7. Queen is not going to be able to penetrate here. Well, the queen could have gone to c6, I guess. Maybe the queen wants to harass me on this long diagonal. Here, another defender of the knight. I can always play knight to h5 here, defending the bishop. So bishop takes, knight takes. And so the queen and bishop battery is not going to be a problem, I don't think. Well, let's see. Does he have any loose pieces here? Everything seems pretty well protected except this bishop, which is indirectly protected by the queen. So do I want to release the tension with knight to h5? I can't. Can I play e5? He's got 2 pieces on it. If I have any clever discoveries, let's first put a rook on the. Or do I want to? No, I think I want to do this right away. I'm a little bit worried about my queen over here on the d file. He can place a rook on d1, which would be annoying. So I want to make it safe for my queen to come out on some of these other squares. So now I can play rook to c8 and rook to d8. And I'm going to do that right here since he's threatening to double. I can't afford to let him do that. So this is not leading to a whole lot. But, well, I survived. It's leading to survival for me. That's what it's leading to. Oh, he still wants to keep that c-file. Well, at this point, the c-file is less dangerous. Now, where does my knight want to go? Knight to f5 runs into e4, forking the 2 pieces. So knight to e6 is possible. Knight back to h5 to f6. I don't like that because knight h5, he has knight here with a tempo on the queen. Okay, knight e6 it is. This knight can go to f6. Let's see, maybe I can get something against his pawns over here on the queen side. Okay, he wants to harass my my knight. Let's see, if I play pawn to b5, where's the bishop going? Just back? Or is he really going to trade? Yeah, all this time he has this knight e5 tempo move. I always have to watch out for that. Oh yeah, he just wants to trade. Now knight e5 is not so good because I could checkmate him. So let's see, queen, knight, and bishop against queen and 2 knights. Probably just a really even position. The knights defend each other pretty nicely, but they're kind of static when they're like that. Oops, that was a mistake. Let's just shore up that pawn. Minimize my weaknesses here a little bit. My knight's controlling, my knight, my queen, and my bishop are controlling all these entry squares. So when I move the knight away, which I eventually have to do to make progress, he's going to be able to come into c2, which would be a bit annoying. c7. Let's drop back and cover c7. I want to move this knight. Let's figure out a good square for it. It's in front of my pawn, so I can't really make progress with the knight there. The knight would be good on c5, c4 there, but it's covered. So maybe the knight goes to f. Knight to f5 now. If he kicks it with e4, I can go to d6, which is a little better square, and it's also looking at c5. Yeah. And it's out of the way of the pawns. Yeah, it's one of those positions I don't think either side can do too much. I just don't see a way. The problem is that pawns are symmetrical, so there's no pawn breaks. And that happens in symmetrical positions. That's why they tend to be drawish, is that there's the open files. Both sides have access to the open files. And So you put your rooks on the open files and then they just get traded off. So it's difficult to stir up trouble. I will have to push these pawns forward in some way. Maybe another idea would be to play... Yeah, but I can never get in e5 with his knight there. He's covering e5. Okay, his queen is creeping in. Maybe the queen's going for b6 here. Anyway, my idea was to go here. Maybe he wants to try and gang up on the e7 pawn. So knight to d6 to even all the way to e4 might be interesting, but he just trades it. This knight and this knight, they sort of counteract each other. Okay, queen there. What is that doing? It pins my knight. Let's unpin. And I can come in here and check, I guess. It's an idea. It doesn't do much unless I take this knight. But he can always take back with the knight and then the check. Yeah, the check grabs a pawn over here. But then he can invade. My situation here is pretty well coordinated. Knight's defending the bishop's defending the pawn. Yeah, he's covering my entry point there. So what to do here? Okay, f6 covers these two squares, so it takes some squares away from his knight. If he checks me on the light squares here, I'm just going to bring my king forward.
Check.
That was kind of a predictable move, I guess. Oh, he didn't come in. You know, he could have penetrated all the way to e6. That might have been a bit uncomfortable. Might have been. But he didn't play that. Okay. Knight here, defended by the bishop, and he can trade it off. And maybe I can drop the bishop back to put it on this light squared diagonal here. It looks pretty good in both directions, and play e5 now that it's supported by f6. Or maybe e5 first. Take a few more squares away from the knight. Just have to be careful now. I have a few loose pieces. The bishop is loose. The pawn on a6 is loose. So he hits the bishop immediately. So I wanted to reposition on this diagonal anyway. And if he pushes on with e4, which he can do, I can drop the bishop back to f7, stay out of the way of the pawn, so I still have some pawn push in the center. Yes, what's going to happen, I guess, is he's just going to run out of time. Not a great way to end the game, but well, he's playing kind of slowly. Actually, he's getting a good position for his knight now. The knight can go to okay, I'm going to drop my bishop back, or yeah, I don't like having the loose bishop there. And when he plays his knight in to that square, he was obviously setting that up. I'm going to play queen to d6, defending the pawn, and once again threatening to come into his back rank. He wants to trade queens. Ooh. Queen takes, pawn takes, and then he's going to attack my pawns over here with his knight, which is they're hard for me to defend. Let's see. Where does the bishop need to be to defend those pawns? The bishop has to be over here. Let's see. I can play pawn to a5 maybe. Queen takes, pawn takes. Yeah, I don't like that either. Okay, let's step aside and try and hold on to those pawns for a bit. Yeah, maybe I've gotten into a game where his knight is better than my bishop. Well, I can still think of lining up. Okay, so now I can trade bishops, and this is a little different. Bishop takes, knight takes, and then the knight goes to this square. So bishop takes, knight takes. Queen takes, knight takes. I play bishop here. His knight goes here. I play bishop here, and I've got his knight boxed in, right? Oh, he just goes back there. Okay, so I'm still going to go here to defend this pawn, but maybe he's saying he's got my bishop dominated. Gonna give my king some squares. I'm going to run over and maybe attack his pawns here. I guess it's hard for me to do that, isn't it? Because his king gets in as well as mine. So if I go here, he has this check. Let's see, do I have a nothing move? Let's see what he does. Okay, he has nothing moves too. Okay, here. He has a check, I just have to go back.
Announcement. Check.
Oh, I could have gone sideways. That's the difference. I can't really let his king come in. Okay, he's asking what is my move here. Let's see, if I push on with G, if I push on with G5, takes, 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 he's got a passed pawn, and I don't. Those pawns are on. Those pawns are on dark squares, so my bishop can't attack them. Yeah, so I've gotten into one of those horrible endgames where the knight is better than the bishop. Okay, what can I do? His king can penetrate. So I guess I have to go for activity over here on the other side of the board. His king can just walk in and take this pawn. He can harass my bishop. So, interesting endgame. Yeah, so he can either attack the pawn or the bishop. I'm going to try and win these pawns over here. Yeah, so that drives the bishop away. And I can defend that pawn for a while and win this pawn. So let's see who's closest. It's going to be a race, huh? Okay, bishop takes, king takes, I take, and he pushes. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or king out of the way, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I take, he takes, I take. Yeah, it's his move, and he gets 5, and then it's my move, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we queen at the same time. He can queen on this square, and my king will be subject to a check. Let's take first. Keep the bishop in reserve. Aha. Is he going to be able to stop this pawn? I don't think so. I think he can give a check with his knight is what he can do. No, I'm covering the checking squares. Maybe I have lucked out here. Oh, look at the time. Down to a minute. Let's see if I can pull this out. Don't want to lose this on time after having survived this long. Yeah, the bishop is a mighty defender. It covers both sides of the board. It's keeping his knight from harassing my pawn. And let's think. I think it's simplest if I take here. I don't have to worry about the queen trying to fight against a pair of pawns. Although I do have to worry about tactics with the knight. The knight is always full of tactics. So a check here would win the knight unless he goes to this square. So he goes there.
Check.
So I'm putting my queen in front of the pawn, and then I'm going to bring my king in. I can always go for a draw by taking the pawn. Okay, check here. King moves.
Check.
Oh, he just goes there with the knight again. Let's bring my king one step closer. I want to kind of have my king on the opposite color of my queen, just as a simple way of making sure I don't get forked. So king on the dark squares, queen on the white squares. If you're wondering why my king is taking this funny trip. Aha, king there. So I can bring my king to here, I think. And I can put my queen on okay, I think I have to put it on a light square. But his knight is pinned at the moment. I can step one step closer. I will attack his pinned knight and maybe win it. Okay, so he went there. Let's go here, pinning the knight again. Maybe check here will drive his king away from the knight. The pawn advances, I take it. The king moves.
Check.
If the king moves, this is usually an easy win.
White resigns.
Okay, well, interesting game. I will upload this and do a post-mortem. See you guys later. Bye.